19.9 Maxwell LD, 2-cylinder, wide track. It's wider. It's a Southern wide track, 60 inches wide. These guys are going all wrong with this oil system on here. I come up with another theory. Do like I did with the Untitled. Put a little tank underneath there, let the oil come out, put an oil pump it back up into the tank, and let her flow, full bore. Okay, 2-speed. Very similar to the Olds. You want to go back, you pull it back. The low gear's here, and high gear's one more. The only thing is, when you come from high gear in this one to neutral, and then you go to low gear, it will go in low gear. And then if you happen to go through low gear and you want to go backwards, that's okay. But if you're in between and it's in neutral and you want to go backwards, you got to go forward first before you can go backwards. Right? Right. In the dripper system. This is the oiling system. In there. There's 3 drippers. And the oil comes from the tank into here and it drips down in 3 spots. 2 cylinders and 1 main bearing. And what happens is, when you stop, it keeps going. Keeps dripping. And so what I did was I made this so that I could turn them off. The only problem is, it's hard to adjust them. But I'd rather have more oil than less. Okay, this is a coil box. The coil was shot, gone. The box is used to put the registration paper in. And what else? Here's the starter. This hacksaw blade, that's the starter. When I shut it off, I disconnect the battery. There's a shut-off switch here. In there, on top of the battery. It's almost all the cars that I have master disconnects in case there's a problem. See? That's a unique starter switch. Just a hacksaw blade. Okay, the ignition switch is over on this side, and it has a little red hickey that says on. You push it to on. It has a magneto. It doesn't have the battery ignition coil. It's got a high tension magneto. Somebody put it on. I didn't. I wonder where the yellow went. I don't have a choke inside. I never got around to putting a cable on it or something. There's the shut-off valve for the gas. This carburetor is off of an Onan generator. It's not a... And this is a motor generator off a garden tractor or lawnmower. Use it as a starter, and then when it starts, it generates electricity to charge the battery again. The starter on it, so because I couldn't crank it, and getting too hard to crank. So I did not destroy anything, just a few bolts, and you take it off and use the crank. The oiling system, you put the oil in this tank, and there's a sight glass on the other side that tells you how much oil is in here. The oil goes from the tank to the main line, and this is supposed to be pressure from the engine, comes up here and pumps that oil down into here, into here. And when you stop, most of the guys loosen this up, they think it'll make the oil stop, but it doesn't. What else? Well, in here's a little compartment. Put some extra oil and stuff. This is the throttle now, but it has a foot throttle. This is a hand throttle. Oh, it has a, on the brake pedal, it's got a little lever here on the top. If you just push the outside, this holds it, locks the pedal down. And then to release it, you got to push on that. So when you're driving it and you slow down for a stop sign or something, you got to make sure you keep your foot here, because if you don't, it won't release. Gas tanks under the seat. There's the gas tank, holds about 10 gallons. And the upholsterers all like to make that stuff tight. In the trunk, little trunk. No hinge on the trunk. It just rolls on. It's got a lock, but no hinge. The differential has a plug in it where you, on the front side, where you take it out, and it should be close to that hole. I think we had a little bit too much in it to start. And these things here, they're grease things. You just give them a crank every once in a while, give them a half a turn or something. And then the rest of the stuff, you just put a drop of oil. I mean, there's no other way to lubricate it. Just lubricate it and then wipe it off for a couple of days. Like all these things here. On the engine, I don't think there's anything to lubricate. Now, there's nothing to lubricate on the engine. Now, there's a hole right here. You're supposed to, that for some reason these guys been drilling holes in there and putting a stick down to see how much oil's in the crankcase. It doesn't seem successful for me. It's never there. Oh, tightening bands. Okay. You have in the transmission, this is the same as the Olds, only similar to the Olds. But to tighten the bands, this one right here is the reverse. If it won't back up anymore, and probably sometimes an eighth of a turn will do it. That's reverse, and this is low. If you tighten the low gear too tight, you can't shift it. This one right here. Now I marked an R and an L, reverse and low. And to tighten high gear, you got to take the top off, and there's a fingers in there, and you take the loosen the set screw up and give it 1/4 of it, one flat. There's flats on it. Take it and tighten it one flat's enough. And the lining on this right now is wood. Use wood lining for clutch lining. Well, the Magneto, it's a high tension Magneto. It's a 4-cylinder Magneto. And the guy before me, what you do is ground two out. You have to ground them because if you don't, the spark's got to go someplace and it'll destroy the mag. So he grounded 2 and used 2. And it works. It's got an impulse on it so you don't have to regulate the spark. No distributor, it just works off the mag. The mag runs off of the gear train in there. Gas, the lights are kerosene. Here's that window for the oil. It's very hard to see right here. And right now we've been running it. When you stop for a while and look down, if you got some oil on the ground, I think it's good. If you don't see any oil on the ground, open up the drippers further. Quart of oil a day is cheap in comparison to the engine.